What's up? What's up? We'll wait for more people to get in before we get started. Pretty interesting topic today, though, that I want to talk about. So I'm pretty excited for this one. I'm so tired too. How are you doing today? ET7 will dominate. Big facts. We'll give it about 2 more minutes before we get started. Anybody late to the party can catch the recording. I usually make sure that the recordings are saved on the channel for that purpose specifically. Let's pop this into the stream. Interesting article from CN Tech Post today. Um, Basically, NIO won another Red Dot Award for, phenomenal design. This is, I believe, their fourth one or maybe fifth, but it was for the design of the ET7. The ET7 is going to be released fairly soon as we're coming up on the end of 2021. We only have, we're in the back half of the year now. But one thing that's interesting, that I thought was interesting at least, is that um, deliveries are going to really spike next year when the ET7 comes out. Good to see you too, John. Always good to see you. But deliveries are going to really spike when the ET7 comes out next year. Granted that the chip shortage is resolved and supply and NIO is no longer supply constrained. So NIO's target for ET7 deliveries next year is 50,000. Um, this article here says that they could potentially deliver up to 100,000 ET7s. So the ET7 target for next year is 50,000, and the motor demand is expected to be 100,000 units. Okay. So on average, that means if they were to deliver that 50,000, that means they would be delivering around 4,200 um, units extra per month. Now, granted, in May they delivered 6,700. So if they delivered 4,200 units extra per month, that means they would be delivering pretty close to 11,000 vehicles per month. They would be breaking a lot of records here. NIO has never delivered 11,000 units in a single month. Um, so that would really be great. That they would be breaking new records. Demand would continue to increase. NIO's already growing. So 2022 is actually looking at like it could be a pretty big year for NIO. And if you guys don't know, there's a video on my channel. Let me see if I can find this real quick too. Might as well pop that into the stream. Um, but it's pretty interesting. A long time ago, I was talking about how pure electric sedans would be the next wave of growth for NIO. And it pretty much seems like that's what's going to be happening as long as the chip supply shortage gets resolved and there's no more supply side issues for not just NIO, but I guess the entire electric vehicle industry as well. ARK Invest also thinks that things are turning around for the industry. So we'll see. But um, pure electric sedans are the next wave of growth. Okay, here we are. Let's share this screen. So I made this video a while ago, long time ago. And we're not actually going to watch it, but just to make my point here, that I was saying pure electrics, that the electric sedans will be something that's really big for NIO. Obviously, they aren't going to be having that partnership with GAC anymore. That's something that's pretty much going to be fading away. But the ET7 did come out, um, and that's going to be a big vehicle for the company. But anyways, I bring that up just to say that people are really underestimating this new release that NIO has coming out. If you think about it, it seems like a lot of people have forgotten about the fact that NIO has so far only been selling pure electric SUVs. They've never had a sedan come out. In China, and this goes back to that video that I was just pulling up, I talked about it, but in China, pure electric sedans they've actually sold way more pure electric sedans than they've sold pure electric SUVs. And another thing I talked about in that video is the genius of NIO's strategy. Instead of releasing a pure electric sedan and making that your bread and butter right out of the bat, the smart thing and the thing that NIO did do was they kind of cornered the market. They're the leader in pure electric sedans, not just in China, but globally. So instead of releasing the ET7, right off the bat and right away, remember they were supposed to do that, I believe in like 2018 or 2019. Time flies. I have a foggy memory there. But they were supposed to release the ET7 at a certain point in time, um, and they said that nope, now we have to wait. There was a lot of funding issues, and they said that they wanted to release it on their next platform. Now the next platform's here. Now it's time for the ET7 to really be released and really be a big part of their brand. But at the same time, they've cornered the pure electric SUV market, and they're the leader in there. So now it's just about proving that they can make sedans as well. And to be honest, when it comes to the ET7, there's really nothing else like it. So it just seems like something that's so minor, but if you really think about it, and if you really put the pieces together from what they were talking about at the time when they were supposed to release the ET7 and it got delayed, and if you're saying it didn't get delayed, go watch that video. There's literally like word for word comment from William Lee saying that, and Quinn Lee Hong, the president, saying that they have to wait until they put out their next platform. And then the funding issues also contributed to that. So it's really just genius on NIO's part. And I think that this is really going to be something that really sets the groundwork for 2022 and years to come. So I'm really excited to see what comes of the ET7. Um, it's going to really shock us being able to really catapult those delivery numbers. And hopefully we hear about more vehicles being released and coming out soon. And When it hits Norway too, it'll be something crazy, and that's not too far out of the woodwork. So, you know, let's see what everyone here had to say. Rumor is NIO will do a demonstration of the ET7's capability and autonomous driving. Do you think that will happen? I think that'll definitely happen at some point. Obi with the faded haircut. I actually don't like the way this guy cut my hair this time, but thank you. Um, Good vibes, definitely good vibes. Do you see battery supply issues as a concern in a year or two? Um, it really all depends. I don't see battery supply issues as too much of a concern right now, but I need more. I'm no industry expert, that's for sure, but I need more time to pass and I need more evidence. What's up, everyone? If you're just joining the stream, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Of course, if you want to be a part of these conversations before they happen here on YouTube, click the link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. Lots of good info is passed around in there. Lots of real in-depth conversations, more sometimes quantitative, sometimes qualitative, but always a good mix of both. Um, when NIO does reach full autonomous driving, a nice, comfortable vehicle like their concept car makes sense. The NIO Eve, yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely think that the NIO Eve is going to be something that's going to definitely, it's not just there for show. Um, while it debuted as a concept car, I definitely think that they plan on doing some stuff with the platform. So, we'll see. We'll see. How are you? Hey, Gerardo, I'm doing good. How are you? What do you think of the car they will announce on NIO Day? I'm honestly not sure at this point. It's pretty far away. Um, NIO ET7 will not be able to keep up with demand. That's true. I mean, I don't think it will be able to keep up with demand either because demand expectations is 100,000 units. That would mean NIO would be supply constrained as well, but also um, supply constrained is one of the better problems to have because it means that people want your product. It means your product's flying off the shelves faster than um, people are consuming it. So, or people are consuming it faster than it's being placed on the shelf. So that's one of the better problems to have. One of the big issues is when there is no demand for your product. So NIO ET7 is really going to be great for NIO, in my humble opinion. Do we have enough batteries? I believe that all supply side issues will be resolved um, certainly by after Q1 2022 is my expectation. Do we have enough batteries or will we run into issues like that? I'm definitely no industry expert. I'm no industry expert. My best job and the best of my ability is to follow the news, but not become too concerned because I know that I'm holding this for a long time. So, we'll see. And at the same time, I'm also NIO investing in Yoshin. We're gonna see or Yushin. People always like to correct me on that, but like I said, there's multiple pronunciations. Do your research. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, them investing in Yushin just shows how bullish that they are on that company, how bullish they are on the market, and that potentially they'll be selling NIO vehicles one day, in my opinion. So, have you read any news updates on the European market production? Why is it dropping? No, I haven't read anything um, on the European market production with NIO so far. I've been keeping up with Yushin pretty much, so I'm trying not to follow NIO on I'm following it definitely on the day to day, but not as closely as I was following it. Like I would check NIO, I would Google everything and search all over the internet for NIO like 4 or 5 times a day a few months ago, if you guys noticed at all. But to me, it's like let me just follow the big things, and also, and it's not much of a passive investment if you're constantly doing all that. And a lot of times things like that can freak you out. So I'm checking on it as much as I can, but I need to definitely brush up on that over the weekend. How would I sell NEO to the average retail investor? I mean, there's plenty of things to start. There's plenty of places to be. If I'm selling it to the average retail investor, I would first, I mean, the way I invest in any company, the way I invest in any company is I start with the market, right? What's the biggest market for electric vehicles in the world? China. And another example of me doing that is China wants to double their used car market by 2025. So with NIO, I started with the market. With Yushin, I started with the market. Um, with Clover Health, I started with the market. Um, Obviously, Medicare, more and more people are getting older, trillions and trillions of dollars. But anyways, back to selling NEO. Once you start with the market, then my thing is, okay, I know it's a huge market. The market's expected to grow. It's and then I want to invest in things that I feel like are disruptive, so potential to take market share from things that are already out there. So when we talk about things like what's a good example of this? When we talk about things like, um, let's say Clover Health, they're a disruptive company. They are the cheapest form of, getting Medicare insurance. When you talk about electric vehicles, the overall cost of ownership is much cheaper than a gas car. So that's also going to be disrupting the market. So you know that this is an industry that's only going to get bigger and get bigger and get bigger. You want to stay away from the things that are actually getting disrupted. So now who's going to be the biggest player? I said China's the biggest market. Who's going to be the biggest player in China? Obviously, there's a sense of nationalism there. Aside from that being a sense of nationalism there, Neil's talked about how they have a much higher average selling price than BMW, Audi, Mercedes. But also, like I just mentioned with the electric vehicles, they're just a smarter buy. They're going to save you a lot more money over the long run, while there's lower cost of ownership. The business model is completely different. They don't make their money off of people bringing their cars in for maintenance, for service, for new parts and stuff. They're much more reliable. NIO's at the top of the reliability list when it comes to JD. They have the number one pure electric vehicle in the world. Market segmentation is different than Tesla. Tesla's already grown a lot. NIO's a younger company that still has a lot of growing to do. They own part of a battery asset management company. They have NIO Capital, which is invested in a bunch of different things, a bunch of different up and coming technologies. They have NIO Life, which is a lifestyle brand that's actually doing a lot of sales and things like that. I don't know what's going on outside of my window, but there's plenty of avenues that you can go down with NIO. So there's plenty of things to talk about. To the average retail investor, they're going to have to do a deeper dive, but battery swapping is something that you definitely can't forget to include. The NIO having their NIO Power unit is something that you can't forget to include. The fact that Ford has partnered up with them is likely to be a source of revenue. There's so many things that you have to talk about, and so many things that kind of validate them. One of the biggest petroleum, or not petroleum, but one of the biggest gas companies in China, giving them space for their battery swapping stations. Also, Sinopec validates the model. So the CEO's track record, I can go on and on, but there we go. Yes, definitely, John. I feel like, you know, it's interesting to watch stocks on the daily, but um obviously I check the stock every day, but I'm not really like freaking out about like short-term things that happen in the market. So that was basically the point that I was trying to make. Any new updates on NIO listing on the Hong Kong exchange? No new updates there. I'm exactly where you guys are as far as that information. If you're focused on if you're focused on Yushin, how would you sell the story of a small cap stock to a retail investor? That's a great question, actually. I would start with the market. China wants to build a $306 billion used car market, which is a 2x by 2025, which is a 2x from what it is today, right? So obviously, we know there's a lot of market opportunity there. We've seen what Vroom and Carvana have done in America, but obviously, um, I was just telling somebody this yesterday. Carvana has about their float is in about like the 70 millions. Um, Yushin's float is in like the 236 millions. It might have deviated a little bit from that, but anyways, we know that this is a viable business. It's an emerging market in China. That just means that there's plenty of upside because it's a market that hasn't fully materialized yet. Yes, you're taking on more risk, but then again, you can get more reward because you're an early investor. Who's going to be the best player there? It's likely to be Yushin, and that's why I'm in it. How can I comfortably say that? One, JD, the biggest Chinese internet company by revenue, has formed a partnership with them. They're not forming a partnership with just anybody. There's plenty of different used car internet companies in China. Why didn't JD pick them? Well, we can also go back to the government investigation of Chinese online used car companies. They investigated all of them. Yushin came up on top. That's on the channel as well. And what else? NIO has William Li, who is known as the godfather of transportation in China, was actually one of the first people to invest in to give Kundai an investment for Yushin. And this is not with Neo Capital or anything. This is way before Neo Capital invested. They recently invested. Second of all, back then, he formed a partnership while he was at Bit Auto between 48 and Yushin. And when they did that partnership, he said that he spoke highly of them way before the Neo Capital investment, saying that the used car industry is something that's super important. Years down the line, you follow Neo, they start their used car business. He speaks on the used car industry in China, saying that it's going to be super important for Neo, and this is still way before the Neo Capital investment. Now, fast forward to modern day today, we see the Neo Capital investing in them, speaking highly on the company, and we've seen all the success that Neo's had. We've seen how people counted it out when they were on the verge of bankruptcy. This stock was priced for bankruptcy. People counted it out. It's had a nice run so far, and people who really know the industry believe in it. So that's how I would pitch it very qualitatively. As of course I say it qualitatively because they're turning the business model around right now. But in the future, what I want to before I start looking more quantitatively, obviously I'm reading the earning reports, I'm talking about them on the channel, but I want to see 2, 3 more quarters worth of earnings before I start to say, okay, this is where I could see this company at by this time, and this would be my price tag target. I'm just looking at it very qualitatively, but there's a lot of good going on there. Mm. That would be interesting if JD was to be a lifeline or financial partner for them. By the way, you are almost at 10,000 subscribers. Wow, let's go, Obi. Thanks so much, John. I appreciate it. Like you've been here for a while. I definitely wouldn't be anywhere close to this point without you guys. So, um, all glory to you guys. I bought a Neo Leap option ending January 2023 with $100 strike price. What are your thoughts being that the inflation slash tax increase is said to be held off. I typically, I mean, if I was going to do something like that, I would know it's all just pretty much money that I'm, comfortable losing. I wouldn't make like a severe or serious financial decision on a Neo Leap call like that for 2023. However, I do believe that that's a very realistic price target. Um, However, I do believe that that's a very realistic price target. But it all depends. You never know in this market, so we'll see. What's going on, everyone? If you're just hopping on the stream, make sure you hit the like button. That really does go a long way in helping out the channel. Uh, Free invitation to the Courtside Financial Discord in the description below. Channel is partnered with WeBull. Click the link in the description to get up to around $2,200 worth of free stocks. But I'll answer a few more questions here. We're just at 27 minutes, so I'll hang out till the 30-minute mark, and then I'll hop. But let me make sure that I caught everything. Solid state batteries use different materials. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. Holding Neo for years. Hopefully, I am almost at my first year owning the stock. Nice, Michael. That's great news. I definitely had broke off half of my position and put it into Uxin, but I'll be adding more to both of them. Will Apple and Neo team up? I highly doubt it. So when Neo is actually going to be working on ADAS, autonomous driving as a service. What that's going to do financially for the business is that's actually going to make their average selling price even higher. And what that means for the balance sheet, for their financial statements, things in that sense is that they're going to have a higher vehicle margin. Those vehicles are going to be more profitable with every sale. So that definitely does show you that the business has scale. Um, I remember in the early days of Neo, people were saying like the company has a negative Altman Z score. You should never invest in something like that. They're losing money on every single vehicle. But that's the point of these type of things. Like Neo is a company that I got started in when they were in the red, and they're still in the red. They're not profitable. Um, Yushin, Yushin, sorry, is a company that I got started on when they were in the red. They're still in the red, but look at how much the stock price has gone up. So I like to take those riskier investments. Um, so far, I haven't had a complete failure of a company, but they are turnaround plays, and I'm very calculated, even though I am taking on a lot of risk. Have you been watching Loki? No, I just bought a Disney Plus. No, I actually just bought a Disney Plus subscription, and I've been wanting to watch it, but I haven't been watching it. Is it true that Neo is coming to the UK next year? I haven't heard that one yet. Haven't heard that one yet, but I guess I need to watch Low Key then, because I heard it was a really good show. I know a lot of people watching it too. But that's going to be it for this one. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this and afterwards, make sure you leave me a comment down below. Always love to hear your guys' thoughts. But anyways, thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.